Hey, martial arts school owners and instructors, Dr. John Terry with the International Martial Arts Council. Welcome to this week's session of Martial Arts Mastery, where we're sharing you the IMAC Impact, 6 business success essentials to help you experience more income, more impact, and more influence in your local community. We believe there's 5 business essentials that you've got to build into your martial arts program in order to significantly scale it. And that's influence, messaging, persuasion, attraction, connection, and transformation. And in these weekly sessions, we're sharing tips and tools and ideas around these 6 business essentials that you need to be implementing into your school. This week, we're going to talk about the trial class trap. Now, I know that many schools across the United States and around the world utilize a free class or a free week of classes as an opportunity for prospective students to try before they buy. But when we think about human behavior and human buying behavior in particular, there is a downside to offering free classes. So I want to give you a contrarian view of maybe something you haven't considered before when it comes to offering free classes. And what I'd like to do is to give you an alternative to consider that may actually increase your conversion rates. So here's a fact you need to know. When we think about human behavior, especially human buying behavior, anything that is perceived as free is seen as having little or no value. And when we offer something as free, it tends to attract bargain hunters, individuals that are looking for the cheapest price rather than a serious student who sees the value in what you have to offer. So here's the truth you need to know. People will invest money in what they value. And if they see the value in your program and you demonstrate the value in what you bring to the table when they walk in and step on the mat in your studio, you have an opportunity to ask them to make a small commitment to be able to experience that for themselves. Because here's another truth you need to remember. That truth is this: a free trial is going to attract price shoppers who may choose the cheapest price. Now, let me give you an example of what I mean. Let's assume you and 3 other instructors in your community all offer a free week of classes. So a prospective student comes into your school and they sign up for a free week of classes. At the end of the free week, they say thank you, and then they go visit school number 2 and school number 3 and then school number 4. They've gotten a month of training for free by visiting 4 different martial arts schools. Now, if they don't see the difference, or they don't see a significant difference, or the difference in value that they're going to get from training in your program versus your peers, here's where their mind's going to go. Who can offer me the cheapest price? So number one, you got to make sure you're delivering value that sets you apart from what your other peers are teaching in your school, but you've got to make sure that you're not just doing more of the same, because people will invest in what they value. So here's what you need to know. Number one, when we offer a free class or a free week of classes, we can subconsciously signal to a prospective student we don't see the value in our own program. So let me ask you this: what's the real value of your program? If someone were to say, what are the benefits I can get from training in your school? How would you answer that question? And if it is life-changing for them, is life-changing really free? The second thing you need to know, and again, going back to human psychology and human behavior, especially human buying behavior, a small investment is going to create a commitment. It's also going to filter out the deal seekers, those that want the cheapest price, from those who are genuinely interested in training with the best. So my recommendation is this: offer a low-cost trial program. It could be as little as $29 to $39 for a week or 2 weeks. Now, what you're doing is you're providing a value incentive to a prospective student. You're also at the same time demonstrating that you see the value and the confidence that if they sign up in your program, they're going to get more value than they're going to get anywhere else. And you're asking them to invest in themselves and make a small investment to see the benefits of working with you. And here's again what I can tell you: if they're willing to make a small investment, they're going to be much more willing to make a bigger investment down the road. So what's your action plan for this week? Here's what I want to ask you to do. If you don't already have one, I want you to think about creating a paid trial program. Now, that could be a 10 to 20% fee of your monthly rate. So if you're charging $100 a month for your classes, then $10 to $20 for a class, or maybe $20 for a week of classes. The goal here is what? To require some level of commitment from that prospective student that they're going to invest in themselves, and maybe there's some benefit they get from that investment, because remember, a small commitment can lead to a bigger commitment. If they're willing to invest $10 to $20 and they see the value in what you deliver, they're much more willing to invest $100, $150, whatever you charge as your monthly tuition. Now, you can always tell them that if they choose to sign up at the end of the trial period, you're going to credit whatever they paid for that trial class to their first month's due, again, adding some sort of value. But here's something again I want you to remember. If they can't afford to pay a small fee up front for a trial class, can they really afford to commit to a long-term contractual agreement where they're going to be paying every single month? And even if you don't have a contract, you don't want the student that signs up and comes for a month or two, and then when finances get tough, they quit. You want people that are committed to learning martial arts and seeing the value in what you bring to the table. So here's my second part of the action plan for this week, and that's this. I want you to track conversion rates between the free trial program you may be using now and a paid trial program over the next 120 days. And I want you to measure the results. Now, we want 60 days, again, 120 days, 2 months of free trials as compared to 2 months of paid trials, so we get good metrics and we get good numbers. So what do? So for the next 60 days, if you're not already doing it, offer free trial classes for 60 days. Now, if you're already tracking the metrics and you know what those metrics are, you could go right into step 2, which would be for the next 60 days, offer a paid trial program. And then we want to measure the number of conversions. Now, what do I mean by that? Let me give you a simple formula. You want to take the number of people that actually sign up, and you want to divide that by the number of individuals that came in for a trial. That is your conversion rate. So let me give you an example. Let's say 10 individuals over the next 60 days do a trial program in your school. That's 10 trials. If 5 of those 10 sign up for classes as a result of that, 5 divided by 10 is 0.5, or 50%. That is a 50% conversion ratio, or a 50% closing ratio in moving people from trial into a paid month-to-month program. That's how we're going to measure the results. Here's what we're finding. Individuals that are offering free trials and making the migration to a paid trial are seeing higher conversion rates. Why? Because people that are willing to make a small commitment and you're delivering incredible value, those individuals, as a rule of thumb, are much more willing and likely to make that bigger commitment and to say yes to your month-to-month, your quarterly, or your annual offering. Hey, I hope you enjoyed today's tip. If you want more of these, let me encourage you to visit our business development website for martial arts school owners and instructors, Shihan University. There you're going to find more tips, more tools, more insights, and more recesses focusing on the 6 key areas that we believe are essential to your martial arts business success. And by the way, this series is brought to you by the International Martial Arts Council of America, the only independent martial arts association focused on developing business owners that teach martial arts, not just developing your martial arts school. You're already good at that and getting great, but let's help you also become a black belt master of your business. We are the independent martial arts association for the martial arts entrepreneur. Check us out at imacusa.com, and I hope you'll consider joining our association and being a part of who we are and what we do. Look forward to seeing you next week.